I got my target. Bullseye. Hi guys. This is Midlife Wanderings. I'm harassing my husband. He said he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't want to talk. So anyway, I'm going to harass him until he talks.
You gotta follow me around. I gotta go outside.
You're going outside?
Oh.
Okay, we'll go outside. Okay, so we're gonna follow him around until he talks. He is smoking a stuffed pork or more corn in the Philippines. So what are you doing? It's cold.
I'm waiting for the charcoal to get hot. I've smoked it for about 4 or 5 hours now, and I'm like jam the temperature up and I'll put it back on there just to get it, see if it'll crispy it on the outside.
See, he likes to talk about smoking.
I don't want to talk.
So while we're standing here,
Pizza.
this is 61 weeks to retirement.
Yay!
And we're counting down.
Yay!
We thought if we counted down by the week, it'd go faster than
It'll be the same.
the day, right?
Oh, I don't want to count my days. So.
So anyway, so Michael and I had actually moved to the Philippines in 2015.
2015 to 2018.
2018. We lived there from 2015 to 2018. We sold everything we had and moved there. So this is nothing new. So now the reason why I'm harassing him is so that I could ask him
She's going to interview me.
about
I might answer a question.
about his experience while living in the Philippines. Maybe we will learn something
I doubt it.
from
Well,
an American who lived there.
Well, Flora's been watching YouTubers, and they give their reasons why they don't like it or why they like it. I think a lot of them go over there expecting it to be like America. An O'Reilly's in every town, Ace Hardware in every town, people that drive normally, road construction like they have here. Road construction here. In the United States, you have road construction here, you'll have warning signs for miles before you get to the actual road construction.
Right.
Road construction in the Philippines, it'll just be there. And it's nothing to complain about because that's just the way it is there. To live in the Philippines, you have to adapt to the Filipino way.
Right.
The lack of O'Reilly auto parts. What I would do, I knew what part I would need. I'd go down to the car care guys, who I highly recommend, and I say I would need the part. And they asked Flora if I was a mechanic, and I'm sort of a mechanic, but they would scrounge me part. They'd get the parts for me. So there's not going to be an O'Reilly's. You have to make contact with a good mechanic there, and talk to them about it. Same way with the hardware stores. Don't expect a Home Depot, especially if you're living in a smaller rural area. They do have city hardware.
Which you drive.
Yeah, it's like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, but the closest one to us is probably 2-3 hours away. You have to learn to do things their way, which you go to the hardware store and you aren't roaming around. You just go up to the counter and you tell them what you need, and they'll start rounding it up for you. they'd let me get behind the counter if I was looking for something specific, but I couldn't explain it to them. I gotta do something.
So basically, it's like don't expect the Philippines to have what you have here.
Don't expect American way in the Philippines. It's the
Right.
Philippines, it's not America. You gotta expect things to be done differently. What else we talk about?
Driving.
Driving. Don't expect people to drive like they do in America. A lot of them, I think there's a lot of getting of licenses by paying somebody. I'm pretty sure I saw the guard where I got my license pull a license out from underneath the table and give it to a guy for some money. So you probably have a lot of bogus licenses out there. And one of the first things they'll do when they get in the car is honk horn. They believe in honking horn for about everything. And somebody talked about the buses. The buses rule the road there. Speed limit is about 60 kilometers an hour. The buses don't go that. They usually go faster. And just something to deal with. I wouldn't speed up, but I wouldn't aggravate them either. I'd make them pass me. It's just, you gotta learn to adapt to the Filipino way. Don't expect to do things American way in the Philippines.
Yeah, I wish people would understand that. But there are also traffic hazards everywhere.
Oh yeah. Caribou,
Goats.
goats, parades.
Yep, parades.
Because, another thing they do, and it's something you have to get used to, you can't complain about it. When there's a funeral, they usually set up a tent in the road in front of the house, be it the highway or a regular road. It's just something you have to get used to. Oh, there's a tent. What's that tent there for? Somebody's probably having a funeral, and they'll sit there for a week or two. You
Yeah.
just gotta deal with it.
And then there's the noise.
What noise?
The noise everywhere.
What noise?
Like dogs barking,
Okay, you got that in America.
like
Karaoke?
karaoke,
There's more corn.
karaoke until 2 in the morning.
Loud music, chickens, dogs.
There's chickens in our neighborhood that starts at
They're all night long. They don't start at dawn. It's all night long. The funny thing about the chickens, you can hear it coming like a Doppler radar. One will start a mile away, and then the next one will crow, and it'll just go right on by, and then it'll happen again. It's funny, but again, you can't. It's like people in America that move next to a dairy farm, then they start complaining about the smell. You can't complain about the smell. You moved there. You can't complain about the sounds and the smells in the Philippines because you chose to move there. That's what it is.
That's right. The road
The roads.
during the rainy season.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It's the roads during the rice drying season.
Yeah,
Because
that too.
you come
The
along,
rainy or the dry season, it doesn't matter.
they drive rice on the roads, and again, what's up? And it might not just be half the road; it might be the whole road. You just, okay, I
You
just
drive
right,
over it.
Just drive over it. So that's something else you can't be shocked about. That's just they got to dry their rice so they can get it sold. So it's just something else you can't worry about. Just people go there, and I think they don't understand that that's the way of life. Especially in well, it's probably this way everywhere. Also, a lot of Filipinos, here in the States, you have people living check to check. In the Philippines, you might have people living day to day. I mean, literally day to day.
Yeah.
And that's something else. You just, if you have an opportunity to help somebody, by not giving them something, but giving them a job, do it.
Right. When we built our house there, we hired our neighbors And I noticed that they do advance payments, and the normal day that you get paid is towards the end of the week, which is Friday or Saturday. But then I noticed that they start asking for advance uh, Wednesday or Thursday, and so what I did, we just pay them on a Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday. But
Yeah.
you also something you got to get used to. If you have people working for them, it is expected to provide them a Miranda,
Merienda, which is
it's a snack,
snack.
10 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and maybe even lunch. So, so we always provided a snack, and that's something else you
But
aren't
they do
expecting.
work hard.
They do work hard. That is something else you aren't expecting, but it's something to be prepared for if you go over there. If you hire people, be prepared to give them the
Merienda.
Merienda. And
Yeah.
lunch, maybe.
Occasionally lunch, yeah. And sometimes the kids would come along when it's merienda time, so
Yeah.
you also have to feed them. You also have to give them the merienda. And then there's the brownouts.
It's something else you get used to. Brownouts are very common there. The electricity goes out. It's funny here in the States, electricity go out and immediately people are complaining. Immediately. Same way with Wi-Fi. Immediately people are complaining. Over there it goes out. That's stuff that happens. We've had it gone out for a couple of weeks at a time.
Yep.
You just get on with life. There's nobody to complain to. So you can't
That's the
You
Philippines.
can't grumble about it. The first time I was there in her hometown on vacation, they had one. It was that night. They had a brownout. Lit a candle, got the guitar, and kept on having basically a party. Singing. So that's Filipino way. We don't sweat it. It's a very relaxing atmosphere. It's very relaxing. No stress. That's one of the reasons we're going there. That we have a house, and we'll be able to afford to live there on our retirement.
Yeah.
So we're working through all that so we can get our Social Security down there. The house is paid for down there.
We don't owe anything.
We hardly owe anything here, so
Yeah.
get everything sold again. All we're going to do is we'll find a van of some sort, and probably I know you want an Elf, but I think we'd be better off with a Suzuki Big Eye 4-wheel drive. Even though they aren't that fast, but just for around town.
Yeah.
But
We're going up the mountain.
we're going up the mountain.
So we have also a property up the mountains that we probably need a vehicle to haul, like coconut and copra. So it probably save us money, because if you hire somebody to haul it from the mountain down to the valley, it costs maybe 400 or 500 pesos
That's about $10, so it's not that big of a deal.
per sack.
Oh,
Yeah, 25, 30 kilos. Is that right?
I don't know. But also,
So-
we probably won't do that till the copra prices go up.
Yeah. So another one, internet.
Well, when we were there the first time, we had a hotspot, Wi-Fi hotspot thing that we'd load, and we were living at the fringe of the signal strength, so we'd have to chase the signal around with the Wi-Fi hotspot, which was okay. But now I think they've added a carrier.
Smart and
They
Glow.
added to. Speaking of dogs, hey, but you better check that, sir.
Huh?
You better check see if that's Malachi's mom. It's
The
445.
445.
Yeah, it's 445.
Okay.
You better pause your thing.
Okay. Yeah, so we talked about the internet.
That was 8 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, they only had smart then. And like Michael said, we had to chase around.
Chase the signal around. Got my
We
pants dirty.
we put the Wi-Fi on, like about over something, or we put it down here, or we put it over there. It was like, or we go outside.
Yep.
One time when we were booking a ticket,
We went downtown, sat underneath the tower, and it was still bad.
yeah, we parked under a tree next to the tower, but we were able to do it.
Yep.
To do whatever business we needed to do. Now, JJ and I went back
March to August of 2022.
last year, yeah, and I noticed that several smart and globe towers were popping up in the area, and I was able to buy, yeah, like a router, and I used 2 SIM cards, and of course, Typhoon Odette just whacked the connections. But anyway, towards the summer, it was okay. But during the day, because of the high volume usage, I think it was hard to get a signal. So I'd be able to upload, some videos at 2 in the morning. That's the time that I have really good signal, and it just uploads it smoothly and quickly. So I had to get up at 2 in the morning, and then when we came home, the globe tower is already up and running. So there's 2 towers now that are running and are available, smart and globe. So it's probably going to be okay. We hope.
City water.
City water.
Don't rely on it. Get another source. You have people that will bring 5-gallon jugs to you, maybe, where you can go down and get 5-gallon jugs. Or what we used to do is there's a spring up in the mountain, and we about once or twice a week we'd take 3 or 4 5-gallon jugs up there, fill them, and then on the way back home we'd stop at the Pong
Pang Pang. It's a
Pong
fish sanctuary.
fish sanctuary that is an old lumber warehouse with a pier, and they let you swim with the fishes. So we would do that, and so that was always fun. And then head home. Where now, when she was there in August or last year, they sank a deep well. I don't know if it'd be drinkable water, but at least you have water to shower with and do dishes with. We'd probably still do the spring water to drink.
Yeah.
But we have a pump on a well, and and a water tower.
We have a water tower.
So we'll be fine. But when we were there before in 2015 to 2018, we had city pipe put up to the house, and it was really iffy. About the best time to get water was 2 to 3 in the morning when nobody was using it. So I sunk a 55-gallon barrel halfway into the ground, so it's sticking up about a foot with a float valve in it. So I wouldn't have to be up at 2 or 3 in the morning to get water. And when the water come on, it'd fill it up, and then the float valve would turn off the valve, so it wouldn't overflow.
And that's what we used for the day.
And that's what we used for the day. We had 2 barrels, one there and one above, and I'd pump it to the higher barrel, so we'd have more water. So we could have about 100 gallons of water there.
Right.
But don't rely on the city water. Maybe other places than where we live at, their city waters is. But a lot of that is political too.
I agree.
And I'll put it this way: there's a bridge. It's Agast Bridge. It's the tallest in Southern Lakey. Really nice, and they had a zip line going across the bridge and down into the valley. But because the owner of the zip line would not support the mayor pulled the license for the zip line, so they went out of business and put people out of business. It was all about politics. There's a lot of that over there. That's just something else. It doesn't really bother affect Americans living there because they don't have the ability to vote. But it's just something that affects things, the water, all sorts of stuff.
Yep. even the
What's
even electricity.
electricity or what stores can be in town? I won't say our town,
Yeah.
but you probably already said it.
Nope.
And the mayor that was there, he owned a big grocery store, and he wouldn't allow any other grocery stores to come in.
Yep.
So
he doesn't get any competition.
That's just
the way it is.
But again, it's the Philippines. It's just something that okay, whatever. You figure out something to do. And I think that's the bottom line about living in the Philippines. Adapt and accept. This is the way it is. If you got somebody else's rooster crowing on your porch, you might throw a rock at and get rid of it, but he's going to be there. It just you can't expect things to be like it is in the States or what other country you're coming from.
Right. And then the heat.
Oh, that heat's nothing. People complain about the heat over there. Hey, you ain't seen heat until you've been on a plowed Kansas field in August. That's heat. So don't complain about the heat in the Philippines.
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
We don't even have air conditioner in our house.
No, our house is built with where we get airflow coming in, and it goes right through. So we didn't have to do it, and we're close enough to the ocean where we usually have a cool breeze coming up off the ocean. A couple of times it got hot, but again, it's the Philippines. It's what it is.
Yeah.
Now you can complain about the heat in Manila because that's ugly there. Ugly heat.
Yeah, I think some of the foreigners who go there, they normally live in the big cities. And that is ugly heat over there.
It's ugly heat in the big cities.
Yeah. But where we are, it's really nice. I mean,
we live in a very rural area.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of separated from the main population.
Yeah.
But it's not very far either.
No.
It's only like a 5-minute walk, but the difference is huge when it comes to peace and quiet.
Yeah.
So now
what?
let's talk about what you like.
Oh, there's somebody.
Tamika.
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
that's it.
Pause it again. Yay!
Hey guys, it's Midlife Wanderings. So yesterday, Michael and I were talking about things that things that foreigners do not like about the Philippines. And Michael, explained his side of the story. And we had company over for dinner yesterday, and they came a little early, so that conversation was cut short. So today I'm just going to finish it so I can finish this vlog. And let's see, where were we? I don't even remember, but I guess the word for today is adapt. What Michael was saying was, if you are a foreigner coming to the Philippines, you should not expect things to be the same as in America or wherever you're coming from. Don't expect things to be the same as what you're used to. So basically what he's saying is you adapt. You just roll with the flow and live with it. And if you don't like it, that's too bad. That's the way it is. Like me, when I first came here, I have to adapt. I have culture shock. But since I agreed to marry and move in to a different country, then that's what I do. I just adapt. And I hope foreigners will be the same, you know, not complain about the heat or the way things are over there, because, you know, it's ridiculous, really. And if you don't like to adapt, then stay where you are. That's basically what I want to say. And so anyway, I think we're gonna have more conversation coming up regarding our move to the Philippines, and I hope that you'd stick around and, you know, follow us and subscribe, because yeah, we still have a lot of stuff to talk about. Like we said, we moved and lived in the Philippines for 3 years. These are Michael's and my experiences going back to the Philippines. We found out that it's where we want to be. It's where we want to spend the rest of our time here on earth. It's pretty laid back, pretty relaxed, and stress-free actually. That's because Michael has learned to adapt. So, guys, if you are thinking of going, visiting, and living in the Philippines, we have one advice for you. Learn to adapt and just enjoy. I will see you guys on our next vlog. This is Midlife Wanderings. Bye.